Hey sisters, before we dive into this week's episode, I wanted to take a minute and recognize where you are at. Maybe you have been listening to the podcast for a while and implementing some of the really amazing tips and tools that are proven to help you, and you're starting to experience a little bit of relief. Or maybe it seems really overwhelming. Or maybe you're just catching this for the first time. Before I fell myself deep into hormonal chaos, I didn't even know what perimenopause was. So there's a lot of miseducation and lack of education out there before we even figure out that we don't have to be suffering this way. I wanted to remind you that there are a few ways that you can always work with me, whether it's toe dipping or whether it's all in or somewhere in between. I want you to take control of your body and never have to suffer again. And that is the goal of the Period Whisperer brand. And this podcast is to give you the education that you need, the steps and strategies that you need to get there in whatever container of support is going to work for you. I want you to be able to decode the whispers of your body so that you can always feel confident that you know your path back to feeling awesome, because we all get off path sometimes. So listen, go to my website. I'll make sure to put the link here, swipe up and grab the link to my website. Check out my courses there. There are some amazing quick courses you can get results with fast with my 10 hormone hacks. There is some great mindset stuff with my walking hormone balancing meditations. There is a full course in the Balance Your She Blueprint that you can follow on your own. Or if you want a more personal touch, which is the way I love to work, come on into the Perimenopause Posse. It is a small investment, but it is a huge value. We do monthly challenges where we follow my exact P4 formula to get you results and have dozens of bonus trainings, an incredible group of women going through the same thing to help you keep accountable, and also a weekly live call with me, weekly live coaching to get your questions answered. Finally, if you're someone who doesn't want to mess around and wants a customized strategy, you can always apply for one of my hormone healing strategy calls, which is a 90-minute call where we customize a program and protocol to you with a follow-up call to make sure that it works. Or you can apply to work with me one-on-one. I might not have spots available right now. It is my most in-depth container. Every client of mine that comes in and follows through with me gets results. So don't suffer. Reach out now, take control now, and feel the best you've ever felt. All right, grab your pen and paper. Let's dive in.
What's up, sisters? Welcome to the Period Whisperer podcast. I'm Bria. I'm your host. If you're new, I'm so happy you are here. I'm your perimenopause and menopause sister, your holistic trainer, hormone specialist, translator of your female body. I'm a recovering people pleaser and hustle addict turned body whisperer and hormone decoder. And I am here to help you de-stress your body, decode what it is saying, become the CEO of it, and own your own health, energy, and weight loss again. This show is for you, the overwhelmed, overworked, underappreciated step woman who dreams of a body they feel strong, energetic, and sane in. The woman who knows that she shouldn't just wave the white aging flag and believes in a body and life of peace, love, and purpose. But you don't just know how to get there yet. So if you are stuck in your body, your energy, your life, you are in the right spot. Let's lean in and learn what our bodies are saying to us.
Hey sisters, welcome to another episode of the Period Whisperer podcast with your host, me, Bria Gad. I'm so glad you're here today. Thank you for taking this time. I always say one of the hardest things for women always, but especially at this stage in our life, is being okay with prioritizing us. It's a challenging thing because of how we were raised, because of all that we want to do and accomplish in life. And yet prioritizing ourselves is a key part always, but in perimenopause, when our entire body is trying to tell us the truth, our truth, what's working for us, what's not working for us, that we need to make some changes somewhere along the lines. So before I dive into this episode, which is going to be a down and dirty one, by the way, nice and short and sweet for you, because I like to keep that balance so that you can always scroll through and grab a quick one if that's all the time you have. I know for me, that's some of the ways I really love to digest podcasts is looking for one that fits my time frame so I can listen to the whole thing, so I can feel like I accomplished something that way. Before we dive in, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you know what that question is? How are you feeling in your body today, right now? Do you know? Have you checked in with it? I'm asking you because our bodies are constantly giving us feedback. Our brain, which is beautiful and smart, doesn't get into the intricacies of what our body actually needs. It's like, you need energy, look for something quick, right? It's looking for the fastest way. It's that hustle addicted mindset, right? It's like, we need energy, grab some sugar. The body recognizes when that energy that we need is food, or when that energy that we need is pleasure, or when that energy that we need is sleep. The body recognizes that. Maybe we just need to breathe. Maybe we need a hug. The body knows this, and we just need to stop numbing the body and start calming that chaos and get into the answers that are there. And we can see this in such a proven way by understanding how, when we're 12 years of age or 11 or whenever we get that sex ed talk where they tell us about periods, they don't tell us about how our emotions shift and how our brain actually changes 25% in a 28-day cycle, of how we need more food in the later half. And that's why we end up having cravings and moods, because we're not giving ourselves those things, right? We're taught to actually not pay attention necessarily to the signs and the voices and the whispers of our body. And that, of course, is what this podcast is all about. And really what's so critical about being in this hormonally shifting landscape. It's time for you to listen. So how are you feeling in your body? One of the most powerful things that I started doing a few years ago that makes a massive difference in my entire day. It is one simple, tiny thing I added to my morning routine that is free, that allows you to stay in bed for an extra 9 minutes, is simply when my alarm goes off, hitting that snooze button and taking those 9 minutes or however many minutes your snooze snoozes you for, to breathe and do a body scan. Some of the things that come up in my body scan are fatigue, are tight muscles, are an upset stomach, or our energy, our excitement for the day, our gratitude, are the fact that I need more sleep. So much of what we need to know that our body is telling us can be answered first thing in the morning when we have a little bit of calm before the busyness of the day dives in, where we can actually hear what she's saying, what she needs. I used to wake up at 4:30 in the morning to my alarm, jump out of bed, pound some pre-workout, which is heavily caffeinated, and push myself through a grueling workout before I even had time to think or ask my body how she feels about it. I mean, think about that. If someone just came in and bulldozed over your thoughts, that would piss you off a little bit, wouldn't it? Or make you feel, sad or uncomfortable or not heard. And you would have a response to that. Our body is the exact same. And I know for mine, some of the key thing of even just recognizing the tension in my body and then exploring that a little bit more deeply. So when I wake up in the morning, if I'm noticing tension, maybe I'm noticing it in specific muscles. If those muscles are in my upper back, I often know that might be a stress thing. Unless maybe I lifted weights yesterday, and then that would be where that's from. Really taking a few minutes to tie how we feel to what is actually happening is the most powerful way to start getting in tune with our body. And that 9 minutes in the morning to do that, I mean, it allows us to just stay in bed a little bit longer, to enjoy the peace a little bit longer. Even if you have to set your alarm 9 minutes earlier so that you can hit that snooze one time and just lay there. Enjoy the peace. Breathe really deeply and hear what she's saying to you. That can be all you need in order to start to make the changes, because now you're tying what your body actually needs to how it's actually feeling. And this is a problem for us, right? When we dive into our day and we just bulldoze through it to get everything checked off our to-do list or to make ourselves feel better, right? I know for those of you who are like me, who are a bit of a hustle addict, I'm a reformer hustle addict, I'm a reforming people pleaser working on all of these things. We often try to make ourselves feel better by doing things for other people all the time, but that doesn't honor and respect the actual needs that are within our body in that moment, right? And this, again, this time in our life is here to remind us that we have needs that are required for us to handle, because youth is not there the same way it once was. We can't just come, racing out of a racetrack in this brand new, engine. Our engine is more wise now. Our engine is more vintage. It needs to be cared for appropriately. And it probably should have been cared for differently for years and years and years. We just weren't taught that. So this is a simple thing that you can start doing. In fact, when I was starting to make it a habit, when I set my alarm, I labeled the alarm body scan so that when I reached over to hit my phone to hit the snooze, that's what I read on there really quickly, right? Body scan. So then part of me was happy because I got to just lay in bed a little bit longer. And I just started from my head to my toes. Feel your muscles, feel your belly. Think about how you want to feel for the day. Think about what you need to do in order to make yourself feel that way, or what you need to not do. If you are tired, maybe you skip your workout for that day. Maybe you decide at that point that you're going to take a couple things off of your to-do list. Maybe you're going to give yourself the self-compassion that you need in order to just relax a little bit more at the end of the day. Maybe you're going to go prioritize some pleasure in your day for you. Take that time to scan your body and realize what it needs. Does it need to be stretched? Does it need to move? Does it need some good nourishment? Does it need to go to the bathroom? What does your body need from you today? All right, that's what I'm leaving you with. Go out, be more in your life and not just less on a scale, and start that by doing your morning body scan. We'll catch you in the next episode.
Thank you so much for joining me on the Period Whisperer podcast. I want to encourage you to reach out to me directly and message me if there are topics or things you're struggling with so we can address those right where you are at. And of course, if you loved this episode, if you learned something, make sure to share it with your friends and please rate and review it wherever you get your podcasts.